So I worked on fighters and ran fighter squadrons for 17 years in the Air Force. Had a worldwide deployment, so I took 26 airplanes, 450 people, and went around the world to a lot of hot spots, and definitely experienced some of my own trauma in that. Came back from the Gulf War. I was one of the first people in and last one out, and I spent 8.5 months over there. 5 months after I got back, I found myself with a shotgun to my throat. And I hadn't realized how much pain I was in. I just kind of went down this tunnel, and all I wanted was out. So I started seeing a therapist and started doing my own personal work. And that started opening up and changing my life. And that's when I got into doing men's work, men's leadership work. I did that, started that in '95, and been doing that ever since. And then also got into grief work, working with military families. And I've been doing that for 22 years. And it was only through my own ability and my own work that I find that I could sit with people in grief and loss, and also be a person that could be sitting and witness people to help them heal. I think this thing about, the suicide rate, with 20 veterans per day taking their lives every day in this country. In the military community now, there's almost everybody has been affected by it. They've known somebody, a friend of theirs, or they were on tour with them and they found out they took their lives, or it's just something that's so rampant. There's an epidemic of this happening across the country, where we're just starting to see and notice about. And it's not going to go away. And so I'm just really, and I know Julie is too, I'm really passionate about how can we be of service to these people so we can somehow save it. Because I know my own life, where I almost took my life a couple times because of that pain. And by the grace of God, I'm still sitting here. I want to be able to give that back, to be able to show people that there is a way out of this. And they don't have to resort to this. Taking their own life is the only way to escape from the pain. My experiences with horses, that was another huge place where I discovered that ability to be around a horse allows you to access parts of yourselves that normally don't happen in the day-to-day. And I just had a transformative horse experience back probably about 20 years ago, and it changed my life. And when I got done, I said, I want to learn how to do that work. So that started my journey into the horses about 20 years ago. Yeah, Julie and I met 2.5 years ago doing a coaching certification in Los Angeles, and we instantly connected.
Like the picture somewhat unconsciously started forming then of knowing that with our backgrounds together we could make a difference, a bigger difference. We could be of better service in the world.
And we both had this kind of vision about making that dream happen. Now we want to turn this into a retreat and sanctuary place for people suffering from trauma, people that had incredible losses in their lives. People are trying to find their way and they're kind of stuck. And we know that, and I can tell from my own personal experience, that horses and nature have been a huge part of my own journey from trauma and PTS and things that I experienced in the military.
The power of being on 20 acres under the oaks, being in nature, being around animals, is that people really slow down. And when we slow down, we see that all that's left is our true nature, which is always with us. And it gives people the opportunity to get out of their daily lives and explore what they're really passionate about.
I've always been the kind of person that can just go hiking by myself and just love being outside. And I'd love to bring that experience for other people. Same thing with being with the horses. You know, you just put a person in a pen with a 1,400-pound horse, and life just slows down. Life gets really present.
It's very real, very quickly.
Yeah.
Because we're really all hardwired for connection, and that's what we're really here for anyway. And so, in this thing about us being of service is that we want to model that for people. especially for younger folks, about that. Really, we're all hardwired for service too. We just think it's something we got caught up in this thing about we need to have certain things to be able to make us happy, and it doesn't make us happy. But being able to be of service and contributing to the community and the people around us, that's what really makes people happy. That's where this inner wealth of depth of connection is what we're really looking for. We've just kind of been looking in the wrong direction.
I don't think there's anybody that hasn't suffered in some way, shape, or form in their life. And I think contributing to Lea Ranch is a way for people to give back, to help helping others. Like, what a gift that is, I think, for all of us. When it is, I feel good when I help others, and I think in general people do. People like to know that being of service, they made a difference in somebody else's life. Maybe keeping somebody alive. What an amazing thing.